Hey, caught me by surprise there. But I saw you. You were watching. Haha. Oh, anyway, might as well talk about this bottle we brought. Winding away with Corey and Ray, back again on a New Year's Day, or the day after New Year's Day. But it's January 2nd, and for whatever reason, we're still doing this.
People are going to think you escaped from a home or something like that. That you're on your day pass or something.
But really he's not. We're not far from the truth there. I now live just up the way at what used to be a mental home, but is now an heating, cooling building, and in the upstairs storage area, they allowed me to move in with my daughter.
That's a great story.
Anyway, Corey bought a Zinfandel.
Yes.
A red Zinfandel.
An Old Vine Zinfandel.
From my favorite place to get Zinfandels is Lodi, California. So Corey at least brought it from the area I like to drink my Zins from. So Corey?
It's Members Mark, which is the brand that is sold at Costco. So if you have a Costco...
And if you grew up in the 80s and you remember Members Only.
And if you don't...
Members Mark is the wine version of those fashionable jackets we used to wear.
Not exactly. But Costco, if you sell alcohol in your Costco, because a lot of them don't, it's only certain ones.
But Corey knows the ones that do.
You should... Ours is Edison, New Jersey. You should go check out the Zinfandel, their brand, Old Vine. This happens to be 2018 because I bought it a few years ago. At that time, it was only $7 or $8 a bottle. And their wines and all of their alcohol actually usually comes from a big known producer and is labeled underneath their name.
And the reason I like Lodi so much for Zinfandels is because Zinfandels don't require to, I guess, consume as much water as, say, like a Cabernet does. So they do well in soils that have a lot of limestone, sand, not necessarily 100% rich soil. So the grapes come out a little smaller, but they're just bursting with country fresh flavor.
Country fresh flavor.
And so that's also why Zinfandel does well
Zinfandel
with
in my eye.
old and ancient vines, because the same thing is true. You're not going to get as many grapes per bunch as you would with, say, Cabernet. But these grapes are coming with such intensity and so much flavor, it just works for this varietal. And so that area has grown Zinfandel very successfully for, 50, 60 years. And Lodi is really, they grow Cab. You can even find, I think, Chardonnays from there. They certainly grow other grapes, but their most successful grape is Zinfandel. And you can get these great old and ancient vine Zins from there. And you know why. Because
back in the 80s, they planted 1 million Zinfandel grapes because the white Zinfandel craze was going nuts.
You're slightly off.
Okay.
You're saying they planted. They already had.
They had them.
In 1976, when Chateau Montelena won the Paris, wine taste-off, everybody wanted California Cab. So they started tearing up everything that wasn't Cab so they could plant more Cab. But because white Zinfandels were so crazed by the soccer mom of the day, they had to leave a certain amount of Zinfandel to meet the production.
And then, as we all know, white Zinfandel died down.
But because we still had all these, now we have all these great ancient and old vine
which make
Zinfandels.
Amazing, deep, dark, luscious red wine. So if you're a red wine
this
drinker...
is only because the women that my mother used to play cards with at the swim club
liked
white
sweet
Zinfandel
wine
so much
that
thanks to them,
Now you have something good for it.
These affordable Old Vine Zinfandels.
So what do you think? People on Vivino were saying oak, vanilla, of course, blackberry plum.
I don't really find, like when I have this as opposed to say a California Cab, I don't find a huge oak influence on this. I really don't.
Yeah.
That's not what hits me. I think what you said, plum and blackberry, definitely those. But you get that just sort of back end of like a little spice with a zin. You know, baking spice, nutmeg, cinnamon. And you get those, and one of the things I like about when you get a chance to age a Zinfandel, then you start to get into those secondary fruit flavors. Like once the aging hits, then you get more of a fruit compote. But Zin is just great with that. I mean, when Zin ages, it brings on all these like extra raisiny kind of flavors and takes the spice notes a little more.
Now this was in a French and American oak barrel. They say you should try it with braised short ribs, chicken enchiladas, or a meaty burger. And it's bottled by Four Corners Wine in Montecito, California.
Zinfandel is honestly one of my favorite wines to have with when you have a good chili.
14.5% alcohol.
I like making chili in the winter months, and my friend Harry makes good chili. And
Harry.
This is a wine that I think always pairs well with chili. This and Portuguese wine, but those are my favorites.
So if you like chili, here's
a
new pairing you can try.
I mean, they said short ribs. I think this would be a good short rib wine. But
and steak, of course.
When I have customers say, hey, I made a great chili, I'm looking for a bottle, I almost always give them a Zinfandel. To me, it just lends itself perfectly.
Okay.
Even if it came from Costco.
And again, don't forget to shop your Costco that sells alcohol, because they have fantastic wines that range from $6-7 a bottle that go up to, they have really high end wines. And they
but
have
those
lots
types of
alcohol.
places, they have their typicals, they have their usuals, but they do sometimes scoop up something that they're going to get at like a clearance type price, and it's winds up being a wine that this would really be $5-6 more a bottle, so you buy as much as you can until they run out.
So peruse your Costco wine aisle if you can, and try Old Vine Zinfandel if you've never tried it before. You won't be sorry. One of my absolute favorites. You're gonna love it.
So we will see you throughout the rest of the year, giving you recommendations on food, wine, New Year's resolutions, Corey being able to drink again one day.
Very soon, hopefully.
And things like that there.
Whining Away with Corey and Ray on YouTube TV. Don't forget.
We did have Corey's birthday recently, and I gave her some alcohol-free wine, hoping to, get the old taste buds going again.
Right.
She's going to start saying, well, darn it, I want to.
That's the plan. Got to get the brain and the nervous system back on board, and we should be good. Okay.
Got to get the brain back on board.
Yeah.
Now that's Corey's New Year's resolution.
That's for sure. Thanks again for joining us. We really do appreciate anybody who's still watching at this point.
Hi, Dottie.
Hi, Mom. And Reenie.
Hey, Chrissy.
And I think
That's
it.
Yeah, that's about it.
Oh, Andrea.
Oh, Andrea.
Andrea, yes, she watches
There's
it.
some people that do it out of mercy.
And we thank you. We appreciate it. And Jason watches us now sometimes too. We got a new viewer.
But he does it incognito.
Yeah, I know. Well, I would too. If I wasn't on the show, I might not tell people. So that's okay, Jason. Don't worry about it. All right. Cheers to good red wines.
Cheers to good black friends like Jason.
And cheers to Being politically correct in the new year.
2024, you whore.